Rocket Fuel is back today. You are going to be so fired up with our guest speaker. I am really pumped for today's session. We have known each other in the industry for probably too long that neither of us care to admit, eh, Mary?
We don't admit it.
Oh, guys,
like years.
the powerhouse woman that you guys see on your screen has gone from homelessness to Ironman world champion to helping to build 250 millionaire real estate agents. You guys, this woman was rookie of the year in her brokerage because she didn't sell 10 homes. She didn't sell 30. She didn't sell 50. She sold 80 freaking houses in her first year of real estate. And now she's gone on to lead and build and grow well, I said hundreds of millionaire real estate agents, but she also led the #1 brokerage in the world from a production standpoint 3 times in a row in the company that she was with at the time. She's made the Forbes list 7 times. This woman thrives off of relationships, systems, processes. I mean, she is legit. She's legit. I'm so excited to have Marianne here today as our guest speaker. So I'm going to give it over to you.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Okay, we're going to get this show rolling, and I did a cool little presentation for you guys. First of all, thank you for having me. I'm just going to roll it in. If you have, okay, as we're rolling this up here, I am super stoked being here. And as Amy and I said, we were the youngest 2 realtors in the entire country. That's what we're saying. It was crazy. We were so young. We were barely legal to drive. So that's what we're going to say. But here's the scoop, guys. I want to just let you know, if you have any questions, don't worry about it. Just put it in the chat box as I go, because I'm going to really try to get as much as I can done today and lean into that. And I think that'll be really, really helpful for you guys. And I'm not opposed to it. And Amy can always just cut off if there's a question and I don't see it. She can cut me off at any point. I'm really cool with that. Cutting me off means that you're actually listening, and I don't want you to lose the question. So it's really important. So we'll just cover it really quickly. Amy said the same thing. Who am I? Just to give you a little bit of a heads up. So I did build the #1 real estate office in the entire, it was actually Canada and United States 3 years in a row. Love it. And that was for production. I do coach the #1 Canadian team, but I was telling Amy, I coach actually in many states. So Miami, Boston, Rhode Island, we are New York, we're hedging on there as well. Many, many, many different, New Orleans, we coach the #1 teams in those areas as well. So I have a very big influence in the United States. For some reason, my coaching style really resonates well with the United States, which is great. So I know what you're going through. I know that the rates just went up, I believe, to 6.8 yesterday or today. So I'm following that quite aggressively because it's very important to me. I've built over 230 millionaires from the ground up. Also, on the flip side, I've been published in Forbes magazine 7 times. I have over 31,000 billable coaching hours, and I am a recruiting machine. So I actually have recruited over 350 agents right now. And anybody knows, I find recruiting incredibly easy. So I'm just going to let you know, super easy, although we're not going to talk about it today, but I really love recruiting. I just kind of like to be in the background. I'm the secret weapon behind a lot of things that happen. I just keep my mouth quiet about it, and I just do what I do. And as an Ironman World Championship athlete, I think I'm competing in Ottawa, my city has an inaugural one this year. But I think what's really important about that aspect is I used to be 300 pounds. So 6 years ago. So I was a little larger 6 years ago. I just believe in transformation. So one of the things I wanted to cover with you guys today is the trends that we're seeing with also, it doesn't matter if you're in the United States or if you're in Canada, it doesn't matter what country you're in. Almost all the markets are actually trending about the same right now. So what I'm going to share with you is where we're pivoting everybody in 2025 based on what we're actually seeing working significantly. And I think one of the reasons why we share these stats is not to sit there and brag. That's really irrelevant. It's to let you know that I know my stuff. Okay. We have over 800 clients currently, and I know my stuff like the back of my hand, but I also believe that whatever you want to do, it doesn't matter what the market's doing. You always need to see the opportunity. Whenever, I truly believe, Richard Branson posted something this morning, which I thought was so epic. He said to us, to us, the public, he didn't really talk to us. But anyway, he said, if you want to make $1 billion, you have to be willing to lose $1 million. So you have to be willing to go all in. If you're in a really weird market, I was just we coach the #1 team in Virginia, and we were just talking to them, and their market's at a complete standstill. So what we did, we pivoted their business. We have to be willing to do that. They're a top luxury team. It's not moving. Luxury isn't moving there right now. There's 47 luxury listings and only 4 sold in the last 30 days. So we had to pivot the entire business. And you know what you do? You take advantage of the opportunity. Always, always opportunity. When everybody's running scared, we run in and we crush the pants off of things. Okay. So we're going to switch over. We are moving in the biggest trend we're seeing. And I'm going to do a lot of talking. So you're recording this so you can watch it later. One of the most biggest trends in real estate right now, it's called the relationship revolution. We're seeing a total shift of old school and new school have collided. And it's the first time, like I get goosebumps every time I say that. It's the first time that you're seeing old school real estate, which is relationship based, technology driven, they're colliding. And and they've come together, not like oil and vinegar, right? We're seeing them come together now in this beautiful, almost like chocolate. You're seeing all these chocolates and strawberries, how they go great together. You're seeing them come together gorgeous. And we're seeing the domination of every single team and business moving into relationship based. Ironically, we've been coaching on this. We switched all our presentations. We've been coaching and testing this for at least a good year now in Canada and the United States. And ironically, we just listened to a podcast with a very famous coach out there. And they just caught on. They're like, I think everybody should go to relationship-based businesses. And we're like, we've kind of been saying that for a while. So we're going to share that with you. So I was explaining to this, and I'm going to ask somebody on here. Okay, so let's see. Let me see. Matt Wales, are you ready? Okay, here's a question for you. Let's do it. If you have 2 businesses, transactional and relationship-based, okay, knowing that I do work with the best in the industry, if you have transactional business or a relationship business, who gets to number 1? Who always finishes number 1? Transactional or relationship-based business owner?
In real estate?
Yep.
Probably transactional.
100%. So Matt's 100% right. Transactional teams or individuals will usually always rank at the very top, which is why I never get excited. I'm like, sure, it's great to work with the top and be numbers driven, be like, I want to be number 1. But here's the reason why. Relationship-based teams and businesses will usually come in second or third, always, but they have a larger net. The net of the average relationship-based team versus a transactional-based team is 30 to 38% larger. So you will make tons more money if you follow a relationship-based business. You'll be happier. You'll be more motivated. You will see the returns are huge. But I will tell you, we took number 1, we took number 2. I saw all the P&Ls for them. Number 1, usually always transactional because they're chasing that number 1 spot. Don't care. What I care about is who's making the most amount of money. And it's always by 30 to 38% larger for a relationship-based team to net more money. So take it or leave it. Watch out because the relationship-based business is where to go. So one of the things we're looking at is when we're dealing with relationship-based businesses, and this is why we're seeing the trend move here significantly. And when we say relationship-based businesses, we're talking about your own sphere, your databases, people that you've met ocular. Your CRM is a wicked, wicked place to play in. Repeat business, 56% of customers state relationship is why they repeat business with an agent. I switched it over to make sure that we had stats that work for both countries. Referrals, 1 in every 20 people will give you a referral. Stability reduces cold leads. So I love Zillow. I'm not gonna lie, I work with 3 of their top teams in the United States right now. And I love Zillow. I've spent years working on the algorithms, the conversion rates. We're one of the only coaches, well, myself, I have a 60% Zillow conversion. It's huge. And I love what I do with them. But the thing is, and I'll be very honest with you, they depend on you not having relationships. And that is the truth, is a lead is generally sold 7 times over to an agent. And the problem is that it's because the relationship portion doesn't exist. And you'll see that. And so you're going to spend a lot of money for them to be building the relationships. And that's how you have to see lead aggregation companies. They're beautiful. They're really beautiful, but they're harder to convert for most people. But also on the flip side, you're taking a look and the conversion that you have on a cold lead is very different. Now, if you happen, I like to give little tidbits for just listening and paying attention. If you happen to be getting a lot of Zillow leads or a lot of online leads or a lot of PPC leads, a great easy script to use, because the hardest part is a lot of these online cold leads are like, how did you get my information? Just use this script. It's the easiest script you could possibly use. When you're calling somebody, if you're looking for a better conversion, just go, hey, it's Marianne. Remember, this is a relationship-based theme. It's Marianne, I'm just calling. I noticed that you actually filled out a form or whatever, blah, 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 you entered our system. The first thing that they're going to say is, how'd you get my information? And they're like, who are you? How'd you get my information? Say, well, actually, here's what I want to let you know. And this is a script I custom for our Zillow guys and girls and our online lead people. You just have to simply get that out of the way and say, well, you know what? The internet works in a very unique way. My information, your information. It pulled your information. I think we all know that the internet is an open field right now. So your information gets extracted the same way mine does. And you must have been looking for houses or something at some point, which shot all the information to the internet, into the world. And guess what? The big internet and the systems around said, hey, you're looking for the following stuff. And it looked at all the realtors in the area and it said, you know what? You're perfectly matched with me. And so you must be looking for a great price and somebody who's not going to push you, which is exactly what I'm not going to do. I'm not going to push you and I'm not going to make you buy a house right away. I am literally here because the internet has said that you and I are perfectly matched. And that is the best gift ever because you weeded out 99% of the people who weren't a good fit for you. So I'm really excited about this. And if anything, it means that we're going to have a great working relationship and I can give you anything that you want as far as information goes. So now that you know how we lined up, it basically took the best fit and then it took the best fit for me, lined us up, and I'm here to help. How can I help? Easiest conversion script ever. They love it after that. They're just like, oh, okay, cool. That's fine. So just try to use a script like that. But if you're looking for relationship-based and you don't want to pay for cold leads anymore, this is the way to do it. You will have a 70% conversion versus what most people only have 30% on the other stuff. I can say with our online leads, even though our conversion is high, the work we have to do to convert those leads is huge. Cost efficiency, it's 7 times more expensive to not have a relationship-based business, as I've showed you with the P&L stuff. Enhanced purchasing, your clients will buy more from you if you create a relationship, but this is probably the biggest one. Okay, the biggest one out of all these stats is this one right here. 28% of sellers, not 2, not 3, not 4, 28% of sellers choose to work with the same agent they previously used. Why is that important? One reason only. That leaves you 72% of all consumers in Canada or the United States. 72% are saying, we've never even heard of our agent again. We never heard from them. They don't build relationships. They don't want to use you. They don't want to use you because the relationship component is gone. It's literally gone. I will tell you right out of the gate, true story. When I was 300 pounds, it was obvious that I was 300 pounds. I had 2 of the best personal trainers on my website or on my Facebook. I didn't use them. And when I lost all the weight and became an Ironman World Championship athlete, you know what ended up happening? They sent me messages that were scathing messages. It was terrible. And I remember they were like, we're going to ruin your business. You don't support other people, all the above. So long story short, I said, I'm just going to ask you 2 questions. They said, what? I said, did you ever reach out to me and I missed the message? Because I'm not going to lie, that happens. And I'm like, and if that happened, I need to own that. Own it right away. They're like, no. And I said, okay. I said, second question I'm going to ask you, were you blind? Like, were you blind at any point? And they were like, what do you mean? I said, like, did you lose your sight? Because I'm pretty sure I looked 300 pounds. There's no filter to take a 300-pound person. I mean, maybe there is, but I couldn't find it. And they said, well, no, but you knew that we were personal trainers. So why didn't you just reach out to us? This is the difference between transactional and relationship-based agents. When you are transactional, if you want to know what transactional does not mean you don't care about people. That I want to be assured, okay? It does not mean that. Transactional-based businesses means you care about people. That is all, you love what you do, you care about them. It means, though, that your business is more focused on finding leads, nurturing leads, lead aggregation, all that kind of stuff, numbers. It doesn't mean, one of my favorite teams that I coach is number 1, a very, very large team. They're number 1. And you know what? They're 100% transactional, 100%. You know what? And the thing is I know they love what they do. They love what they do. They love the people they do it with, but they're all transactional based. And their business, they're losing a lot of money because they're not, but we're shifting them this year into relationship-based. We added relationship-based last year to their team, and that's what got them to the very, very top. But then you know what? Now they're seeing that their costs are going down because they're building relationship-based businesses. So it's very, very different. How do you know? Well, it's very simple. Whatever your CRM is, if you have a CRM, and this is the biggest thing, if I go into your CRM and I take a look, and you should all have smart CRMs for sure, which means, you know, AI integrated. If you look at your CRM and all you have in your CRM is your contacts, and maybe you don't have all of your contacts, and you look at your cell phone and your cell phone has more contacts in your cell phone than your CRM does. If you have an iPhone, just go to contacts, scroll to the very bottom, and it will tell you your total. If your iPhone has more contacts in it than your CRM, which is 70 to 80% of people, okay, that means that your database is not actually relationship based. It means that you're transactional, and you may not intentionally do it. So if your cell phone has more people in it than your CRM does, you are definitely operating your CRM as a transactional based business, and you need to move it to relationships ASAP. Get everybody in there. Another indicator is if your CRM isn't hooked up with social media, that could be an issue as well. So I'm just going to answer the question that came in through the little pipeline here. We like answering questions. All right. Yes, you got it. Oh my gosh. Yes. Angie, you have to look. It's kind of like that aha moment. And I was doing a keynote on Saturday night, and I asked the whole room, I said, everybody, hands up, over, under, 100, 200. And then I said, okay. And I said, now open your cell phones. It was about 85% of the room had more in their cell phones than their CRM. And they were like, what am I doing? I'm like, stop paying for CRMs that you're not using at a super high level. That's a game changer times a freaking 1,000. 7-1, I love that. 7-1 favor of your CRM. Is that too many? What do you think? What do you think? So I would say definitely, if that means somebody's relationship based. If what you're saying is you have 7 times as many in your CRM as you do in your phone, then you're relationship based. I have almost nobody in my cell phone. Exactly. So like you're winning. That is amazing. Now I will keep going on that one. Eric, my 2 favorites right now are like, you know, and I get nothing from them. I purposely am not an affiliate with anybody. This way I'm always clean. I'm like, if I send somebody or do something, I'm clean. So Follow Up Boss and Lofty are just my two favorite. Only because what I'm going to tell you about AI in this presentation when it comes to relationship based, if you knew what we were doing with teams in AI, you're literally like, you would die. Like you would die. I'm just going to tell you, you would literally die. Amy knows a great guy that you're going to see one of my favorite people, Peggy, in a little bit, and just taking teams now, and we're just implementing AI. So using Follow Up Boss or Lofty, the reason why is they have the biggest financial supporters in the industry right now. And if you go behind the scenes, they're just like, the game is on, and they're focused solely. You're welcome, Eric. They focus solely on lead nurture. So lead nurture is absolutely incredible. And my guess is like the game with AI right now is if you can get a CRM and a company that actually invests in lead nurture, you got to go all in. But the challenge really is that let's use Follow Up Boss as an example. 80% of people on Follow Up Boss are not using it. They're not using it. They're not even coming close to using it. I'm not going to stay on this slide too much, but I'm going to ask Leslie because she looks very comfortable. Leslie, can you unmute yourself? I like your color of your background too. I love it. Okay, Leslie, question for you. We had Matt answer, and like literally, I'm only picking on people because of who you, most of you aren't on my screen. So Leslie, my question for you is this. If I'm 33 years old, which, you know, I'm so close to that. But anyway, if I'm 33 years old and I buy a house from you, okay, what would you say I am worth GCI wise? What GCI number would you put on me? How valuable am I to you if you had to label me as GCI? And I'm buying, let's say, a $600,000 house.
Well, I'd say you're invaluable because you would, you know, purchase another home and referrals.
Perfect. So what would you guess though? In my span, because you're nailing it. I feel like you and I talked before. So what would you say I'm worth? We've got the referrals, so that's good. What else?
I don't know. I'll throw out 100 GCI.
That's the number that comes up all the time. Bottom left here, 3.8 million. Okay. It's 3.8 million is what today's standard is. If you follow this chart, you'll see the average consumer at 33 is 3.8 million. It is ridiculous if you're offering. If you don't believe it, I can show you 100 teams that have actually done that. It's incredible. So $3.8 million is the message. The reason why $3.8 million is this. I want your mindset, guys. I want you to jump in and be like, what would every client give you if you made them feel like they were worth 3.8 million? If you make me feel like I'm worth 3.8 million, I will bend over backwards. We have a joke in my coaching company at Christmas time. It's a joke, but it's not a joke, I guess you could say. It's not going to sound as a joke. I love champagne. I'm like a champagne hoochie. That's all I'm going to say. But when I get champagne from people, okay, which is really awesome, my clients will send me champagne. So when I get champagne at Christmas, we go, there's a difference between the clients. I make people a lot of money. I make them a lot of money. That's just like when, on my grave, they'll be like, Marianne was amazing. She made me a lot of money. That's all it's going to say. But at the end of the day, my clients who send me the champagne at Christmas, they get me here. They get extra calls. They get extra stuff. They just get it. Why? Because I can be bought, of course. No, I'm kidding. Because at the end of the day, they make me feel good. If I make somebody $500,000 in a year and I don't even get a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's, I don't dislike them, but it makes me feel like I'm a transaction in their life. It just makes me feel that way, right? Going back to the Facebook example, the reason I didn't talk to those trainers and I told them, listen, my job is not to contact you. Your job is to reach out to me and see if I'm okay. If you saw that I was large at 300 pounds or more, and you knew that I was not always that way, then your job is to reach out to me. And in Canada, United States right now, every single person owns or has shelter over their head. So if you're not reaching out and connecting and just saying, are you okay? The best, easiest script that you should use right now, just reach out and go, hey, it's Marianne. I just want to reach out to you and see if you're okay. I know interest rates just went up the other day. Or if you're in Canada, they're still expensive. Just say, I know things are really tight and renewals are coming up. So I just wanted to check in with you and see, is everything okay? Do you have any questions? You need any help? It's contribution. And we get really, really, like when you don't care about people and you think, or you don't show them you care and you're expecting them to reach out to you, it's a mismatch. You're assuming that they're going to reach out to you. I did not. I would have made those two trainers famous, but I didn't reach out to them because I just didn't feel like they wanted to deal with me. But yet, we think that they think, oh, well, you should have reached out to us. No, that's not true. When you're in a relationship with people and they know that you are licensed as a realtor and there are a lot of economic factors happening in the entire world, but yet you don't pick up a phone and just say, hey, how's it going? I just want to make sure you're okay. Let me tell you something. 6% is the number in your cell phone. 6% in here is ready to convert this year. 6%. So for every 100 people, you have 6 deals sitting there. If you don't make the calls, you're better off to give the call list to somebody else to do the calls and just get them to do the calls for you, because I'm telling you, people need to see that you actually give a poop about them. They need to be like, hey, you know what? You actually took the time to care. Assuming I knew they were trainers. I didn't use them. I could have made them famous. I didn't use them, not because I'm vindictive, because I didn't feel like they actually cared. Like they knew I was large and nobody was offering to help me. So I found people who would. And that's exactly what happens in real estate, which is why 72% would rather go and find a stranger to deal with. Okay. So here's some trends that we're seeing right now, because I want to jump into like how to build relationships with where you are now. What can you do right now to change your business? Again, if your CRM is 100% contacts, how much deals are you doing? Those are the questions you're asking on your CRM, change that. Start taking your CRM, and we'll talk about that in a couple minutes when we do AI. Treat your CRM like a giant hug and make it Disney. Just be like, hug Disney and put it into your CRM and watch what happens. So agents online, okay, we have a lot of ISAs. So when COVID hit, I hired ISAs. I hired over 200 ISAs when COVID hit. This is what a lot of people don't know. So when COVID hit, I went out and I hired 200 ISAs, and I was like, no problem. I negotiated a great deal, and I said, all I want these guys to do is call. I want you to call consumers and find out what consumers want. See, my clients for business are realtors. But if I don't know what their clients need, then I can't take my clients where they need to go. So that is why I'm excellent at what I do. I know who my clients are and what they need, but knowing what their consumers need makes me very powerful. So we are always looking into this. So the stuff I'm showing you is stuff that's 100% accurate. First thing is, consumers are done with seeing posting listings. They don't care. They do not care. What they're looking for, they don't want to see, oh, I've got an open house. I just sold something. I ranked number 1. They don't care. What they want to see is who are the local knowledge experts? Who knows everything about today's market and becoming omnipresent? That's 3 posts a day, 5 days a week for 30 days. If you can't become omnipresent, they're not seeing you as an influencer. Ryan Serhant said to me, I was doing a speaking engagement and I popped in and asked him a couple questions and he was doing one at the same time. And he said to me, he goes, unless you are as famous as I am, like as in him, not me. He goes, unless you're as famous as I am, why are you posting listings? He's like, that makes no sense. He's like, nobody's going to consider, they want to come back for info. That's what they want. He's like, so pour into local market knowledge and make yourself the expert of the area. Do you have YouTube videos that are launched in talking about the market? Are you doing Q&As online? Are you doing short reels and videos about tips, behind the scenes moments? Are you addressing consumers' concerns? Is there better financing available? Are you talking about the opportunities or are you always talking about the negative? Are you saying nothing because it's just too confusing? Lean in. And become the local market knowledge expert. So I was telling you about Virginia and that team that I coach. Their market is luxury. So what are we doing? We've changed everything. They're going to become the local experts of 800,000 below because that's the opportunity in their market. So whatever market you're in, where's the opportunity? Is it first-time buyers? Is it downsizers? Where are they? And we are pivoting everything. So I said, I don't care. Used to be luxury. Luxury's not moving. 47 listings, 4 of them sold since the beginning of the year. We're going to be broke in 6 months, 3 months actually, if we don't change. So we took everything and we said, look, what's moving? 800,000 or lower. So first thing we did, we're launching out and we're doing, for this list, let's go. How many properties under 800,000? Currently, there's over 60 properties in their area that are 800,000 below. So we're going to go all in. We're doing a massive campaign highlighting, why you want to buy 800,000 lower, what's good about this market. At 6.8% interest in the United States, we're like, why, if the media and the marketing and everybody's economists are saying it's going to go up to maybe 10% this year, then what's the message? Do you want to wait to 10%? The opportunity is that when those rates go down eventually, get in now. When those rates go down eventually, sell that house because it'll be worth more. We all know how that game works. So really become posting information that is relevant to consumers. Use AI to figure it out. We'll show you how, but run AI and figure out what are consumers asking for. I searched out in AI, I said, what's the number one thing in the coaching industry right now? The number one thing in the coaching industry right now, it pulled all the questions and everything like that. The number one question, how to become a coach. I was like, oh, that tells me a lot of agents are suffering. I'm like, there's a lot of agents going, how do I become a coach? Well, that's the number one thing being searched. So that won't last forever, but that tells me that we need to fix a problem. Agents need more business. So really focus in. Social media, largest marketing platform. If you're not posting 3 times a day and you're not hyper local with content, as far as educating consumers and giving them content and information, you aren't standing out the way you need to, okay? Opportunity. The best in the game, we know about reels. Obviously, we know about shorts and reels, but here's the thing. Start offering stuff that's really powerful. Look at what's going viral. Study your stuff. Look at your competitors. What's really bringing the attention? Ask your consumers what they want. When we were doing, one of the things that consumers love is they love Q&As. You see that in number 3. They're jonesing over Q&As. Podcasts are good, but they're going crazy over Q&As. And be a little bit brazen. Is this the best time for you to get in the market? Don't be afraid. Just pop on 1 time, 2 times every week and say, here's the number 1 question that I've been asked this week. Boom. The most important thing you have to remember about Q&A sessions, 90% of the success is after it's reposted. 90%. It's incredible to see. So 90% of, don't worry about who shows up. It's the afterplay that's really powerful in those. You also really want to look on social media. I'm telling you, downloadable guides, if you guys have never used them, they're so powerful right now. It's incredible. The consumer wants rapid, fast content. They want to have a guide that solves like 5 ways to solve the problem of this, or download this for that. You don't have to worry about putting money behind it. The organic in Canada, United States is insane right now. We're averaging with organic about 100 per week. So our clients are getting about 100 downloads a week. So make it content really good and do the research and use AI to show you what consumers want. You're going to be blown away by that. And then when you get those 100 downloads, pick up and reach out and be like, hey, I'm just reaching out to you. Want to just make sure this is the script we use. Hey, I'm not going to lie, it's a little interesting, but I always just say, hey, it's Marianne. I just want to verify you downloaded our list of top 5 choices or neighborhoods that you can buy a house under 800,000. We had a little bit of a glitch because we had a lot of people who downloaded it. So I just want to make sure that you got the content, did it download correctly on your end. Okay, we have no glitches. Okay, we have 0 glitches. We all know that. But we had 0 glitches on that. And they're always like, oh yeah, I think I got it. I think I got it. You would be shocked at how it opens up the door. And everybody just goes, that's great. You know, no, it's amazing. It's a really good guide. Fantastic. And then we say, okay, is there anything else that you need us to send you? Our team would love to assist you with this. I am telling you, easiest thing you can be doing right now is those guides. Everybody loves them. And if you know anything about funnel campaigns, super easy to use. But I will tell you, play around. They're like literally, you can go on Fiverr, Fiverr, go on Fiverr and find somebody who can do guides for you. My guide charges $50 a guide, and they're beautiful. So it's like download the guides and just run 3 to 5 of them at any given time. And then Instagram and Facebook are connected. So make sure you have your meta connected. But then what you'll see is those guides will just pour in and then you have tons of leads. It's incredible. I love it. I'm so obsessed with them. I swear to gosh, I've never seen anything so good. So community and network-driven relationship building is the next area that most of our teams and producers are moving to. Agents are doubling down on offline relationships by creating value and content and events. It's off the chart incredible right now. Going back though, sorry, I want to just say something with social media. Somebody had sent me a message the other day and they said, what do I do with, like, how do I communicate with people on social media? I'm fearless as F. I told you the story about me being 300 pounds, okay? You don't have to call everybody on Facebook or Instagram or on TikTok, but I would say it's so ridiculously easy. Send messages every day. Start with your A's, go to B's. It's so entry level, but so easy. And all you have to do is just go, hey, you don't have to say your name because if they can't read, I mean, that's weird. Just like, hey, checking in. It's almost the middle of February. Rates went up, I see. I wanted to make sure you need anything this year, or do you have any questions I can answer for you real estate wise? Not one. We have tons of clients are running this. Not one single time have I heard anybody say that that hasn't gone well. Not once. Not once. Nobody's going to tell you to F off, okay? They're either going to not answer you, but get out of your own head and just remember, you know what? If somebody else is doing it and you're not doing it, you're not taking advantage of this market, okay? It's a numbers game, and you just have to make sure. Stop using social media as a playground to look good. Use social media to lean in and build relationships. Now, network-based community events. I will tell you, insane. If you are farming an area or you've got a community event, get a list, get a VA, get yourself, print up a list, what's happening in your community over the next 90 days. And then volunteer. Get in there, volunteer, donate a prize, do whatever you've got to do. But you need to build relationships and physically get out there. So if you're looking at, like, I know there was Super Bowl stuff that just happened, yay, you know, all the above. Look at the next event or the next holiday in your area. I'm in Canada, so it's freezing. So we have Tim Hortons skating nights, right? We always do those. We go to all the local areas. We find out when they're having their things, and then we do a Tim Hortons event with them. So we're always creating relationships, and we're always participating in events nonstop. VIP client appreciation nights, big trend. Your top 20 will refer you, but the VIP client appreciation nights have changed. When you onboard a consumer, I'm telling you right at the gate, ask them all their favorite things. Send them, if you have a buyer that just started working with you, or if you have a database and you're kind of like, I need to do something because I forget who all these people are. just send out a form and say, hey, you know what? In 2025, we're going to try to be a little more like Disney. And we want to know some information about what makes you happy. Send out just a form and be like, who's your favorite, what type of music is your favorite? What's your favorite food? If you were deserted on an island, what's the one thing you would bring with you? How many dogs do you have right now? How many cats do you have? Like, just don't be afraid to do it. Gather information and create appreciation nights based on what you get. Create an appreciation program. We have great ones, sunshine programs, everything. Make sure you do that. Educational seminars are huge right now. When people have information coming from the media everywhere, they're looking for a place to go that's not the media. We're too quiet. We're way too quiet. So you need to get out there and offer services. Do it online. Offer, really find out what the consumer needs help with and do it. Networking meetups is huge. Absolutely huge. Get out there, small business meetups. I cannot tell you the amount of businesses supporting other businesses right now in both countries is off the hook. So start attending networking meetups. I would be attending at least one every 2 weeks, no matter what. And they're easy to find now. And community connector is what you're looking for. You don't want to be just a salesperson. You want to be a community connector. That means jumping in and connecting in the community. Collaborate with mortgage brokers, interior designers, and local businesses to create an ecosystem. Look, I will tell you right out of the gate. In Canada and the United States, number one thing right now, divorces. It's 1 out of 3. There's tons of divorces. And you know what? That's okay. There's nothing wrong with it. You know what? If you're, I like to think 1 in 3, that's fairly common. So the point is, though, is that ask yourself, do you have a relationship with attorneys and divorce attorneys at all? Is there any relationship there? If not, create a program. Create a program and go in and say, here's the Marianne Gillespie, I don't know, we can call it, something happy divorce program, and in the divorce program, I'm going to do 10 things for your clients. I'm going to provide written estimate to this and to that. We'll look at whether it's better to rent versus to own. We'll look at whether or not this is key to keep the house or don't keep the house. We'll do decluttering. We'll make sure copies go to all attorneys. Create something that you're going to allow these guys to give you business. If you're a mortgage broker, you need to be jumping in. Get that mortgage broker to do instant approvals or have a mortgage broker on every single week. Again, if you look at Peggy Hill, who's going to do that mastermind with you, we have a mortgage broker running all the time with her. All the time, they're talking dialogue. Okay, another one of my clients, same thing. Always has a mortgage representative with them in a lot of their online stuff. And it is so impactful because people have associated him with knowing enough about mortgages that they call him. It's huge, right? Interior designers and local businesses, again, one of the best stories I have is I went to my local dry cleaners. I went into the local dry cleaner, 2 beautiful Asian people. Long story short, and beautiful human beings is what I mean. So these beautiful human beings barely spoke English when I went in there. And so I'm not going to lie, I watched 90 Day Fiance. I like it. So anyway, it really makes me laugh. But anyway, it's a cool show. So I learned that you can get an app, and the app can literally teach you any language in the world. So what did I do? I just went in. I was like, I found out they speak Cantonese. So I used the Cantonese app. I talked to them and I was like, they loved it. And I found out they were lying. They can speak English really well. So here's the thing. So they can speak English really well. They have bought and sold 9 places. They're one of the top investors in the area. Why? Because guess what? I went in and I introduced myself. All I do is I build connections. And if you're focused on building network-driven relationships, it is all about how we treat people. It is all about that stuff. AI, powered personalization and follow-up, huge. Okay, if you're looking at AI right now, I will tell you, it's the easiest to build relationships. I'm going to give full disclosure on this one. And I know I'm talking super fast because I got a hard stop there at one, but here's the thing. If you're looking for the best stuff with AI, remember, the next 2 years, I've been studying AI before it was AI, okay? The next 2 years, there's a race. The race is on how you build relationships with AI. Anybody who is focused more on ChatGPT, how do I ask questions about myself? Here's all the prompts to tell me how to do charts and things like that. You're focused on the wrong direction. I promise you this. What's happening behind the scenes is that AI right now The biggest aggregators of AI are focused on two things: how to build relationships with the consumers so that the consumer loves AI and what they're doing for it, but also how to nurture leads. They're the two biggest investments in AI right now: how to build relationships with your consumers and how to nurture them until they're ready to go to you. It's the two biggest things. So if you're building a business that does not allow you to do that, and if you don't use AI for that, 2 years from now, you're going to wake up and probably write checks that are huge because it's something that you're not implementing. And most smart CRMs, so Lofty and Follow Up Boss, again, they're integratable at a high level with AI. So when you're choosing a CRM, choose one. Only question you ask: how integratable are you with AI? And is that an investment you're doing? And if they say, yes, we're working on it, we don't have it yet, I would run. I would run like far, far, far away, okay? Because whatever it is in the next 2 years, I think the biggest mistake we're gonna see in real estate is too many people getting obsessed as realtors with how to make your job easier. It's not about that. You gotta put the focus back on the relationship with the consumer. Whoever can make the experience of a consumer better wins in the 2 years. That's it. And you're lucky because from what I'm hearing, Real's got like a back-end system like nobody's business. So I've heard it's like really amazing. So lean into what you have and then lean into AI using it for the consumer, because the race is on, and 2 years from now, it's going to be a very different business. AI can analyze client behavior, past interactions, and preferences. It can do your hyper-personalized communication at scale, which is really good, but it also has smart automation. So I'm going to share with you a couple tips, okay? And I'm going to show you two things. Some of these actually, I know you're a leader of your company. I pulled some of the stuff off of his that he has, and I'll show you what I use. And these are all the ones that I love. And again, these are very common, very, very common from a coaching perspective as well. I'm a Claude person, so I use Claude. I'm obsessed with Opus. Opus is like just my obsession. You know, we love using it. We take everything and we run it through Opus, and it'll give you like 13 to 15 reels in a second. But what Opus does, which makes it super cool, it actually coaches you and it tells you, Marianne, this reel going viral. Okay, so when we did a reel, like I just did the other day, every time I go to Toronto, Ontario, it snows, like every time, like, and I always get trapped in the city, like, it's like it doesn't want to let me out. So I did one there, and then Opus Day, I said, Marianne, that's a great reel. Do another one. Okay, so I know I'm heading back to Toronto tomorrow night. I know darn sure the big snowstorm is coming. It's coming. I just looked at the weather. I'm like, it didn't exist this morning. The minute I booked my flight, it's coming. I'm going to be stuck there again. But Opus AI gives you the coaching behind what you're about to put viral and what's not. These are great ones. But I will tell you right now, Ventura SI, one of my favorites. It actually definitely predicts your business plan, which is awesome. And Perplexity is amazing. I have Claude twice. Perplexity, almost everybody that I coach uses it, which is amazing. And if you're looking for quick WordPress, Zip WP, huge. But I would say right now, like everybody I know literally uses Perplexity. It's like the giver. Answerthepublic.com. That's what I was referring to, you guys. If you want to know what the consumer wants, go to answerthepublic.com. Ask it the question. What are sellers in Virginia currently searching when it comes to real estate? Ask the question, boom, it'll show you. It'll give you 3 areas. It'll show you the pie chart of what they're searching. When I did the coaching question, it wasn't even close. Like it was literally, it said there's been over 14,000 searches in the past 48 hours where agents were looking on how to become a real estate coach. And I was like, and if you ask me, not a snowball's chance in hell. I got way too much experience to be sharing that shit. So I was like, I'm not going after that one. All right, this is what my clients are using. All right, so I'm going to share these with you because these are my favorite that my clients are using, and we are going to start running out of time, so I wanted to share it with you. All right, so, and you are lucky. Those of you who are in the United States, man, you get everything before we get it. We get the leftovers. Smart, so I'm like, we're always late to go. So smart CRMs, these are my 4 favorites that my clients are using. Chatbots, really common. Predictive analytics. If you're not using predictive analytics in your CRM, oh my gosh, it is incredible. Our clients are waking up in the morning and they're getting predictive analytics means that you have to use your CRM. If you don't tie every client, every email, everything, if you're not using your CRM for relationships, again, tie everything in. Go all into that CRM. Do not let any information leave there. Think of it as the biggest hub. I did a video that's coming out this week that's going to be kind of controversial, where I tell everybody, I'm like, the reason why you have so many people saying don't do that with your CRMs is because they're usually old school. Back in like the 80s, people only moved people moved frequent. They moved 3 to 5 years. The average person right now in both countries, 10 to 13 years. So like you need to have a big fat CRM. It's got to be fat, really big. Okay, so what it does, predictive analytics, it spits out at you and says, hey, Marianne, by the way, you know what? I was just on the website and Amy and Joe were on, we looked at their social media and we've looked at all your messages because you can tie your CRM to social media. We've looked at the 2 things that these guys have done online. And I would say Joe just indicated that he's outgrown his house, he's tired of it, and he's really pissed off that interest rates went up because he's just about to sell. So reach out to him. Amy looks like she's doing really well. She's super successful. She's traveling all over. And we saw that she posted a listing in such and such place and said she just saw that. Reach out to her. Try to get her. It looks like she's ready to buy. That's what predictive analytics does. It is making our life so easy. Lead scoring is amazing. Those are what we use for lead scoring. It's absolutely awesome. It tells you, basically if your lead is ready, like when it's going to ready to buy, it moves it along in the process or sell. Data mining, unbelievable. Email optimizers. If you're using MailChimp, but you're not using the AI portion, or if you're using Meta and you haven't started using AI in there, that's insane what they have available. Those are companies that are using it at a very high level. Lean into it. Farming, I love Mave and Parkbench. If you're in the States, those are great. You can ask it like, which streets have the highest turnover? It'll do it for you. And it'll be like, if you're a door knocker or you want to get more business, these are amazing. Geofencing, one of my favorite things to do right now. If you're not geofencing, you're missing one of the biggest opportunities. Geofencing is like a big hug. Okay. So if you're using it and you're using Reveal Mobile or whatever, it will literally, anytime you can put a fence around your territory and the ads will show up on every single cell phone of the person in that area. When they start logging in and doing other stuff, the ads will show up. It's remarkable. Okay, it's going to take, it's so lucrative. It's incredible. And it's better than any advertising. So use it for lead capture though. Have a downloadable guide in your geofencing and watch the magic happen. Incredible. Okay, it solves that elusive problem. Nobody has home phones anymore. You don't need home phones. You need geofencing. All right. Hyper target ads, very good ones. Use AI with AdWorks or Mega. Really amazing. Rest.ai, only available in the United States. It automates your real estate listings. I'm obsessed with it. And then heat mapping, which is Crazy Egg. Crazy Egg is partially in Canada, definitely in the United States. And it identifies your high demand areas for your business, which is absolutely incredible. Like incredible. I would say that that's like the biggest thing. Okay. Now I'm going to wrap it up with this. If you're looking, oh my gosh, time flies. And by the way, I'm always happy to come back. Don't worry, or whatever the case is. So I know I talk a lot, but here's what we're suggesting. Build your database. Okay. Relationships is number one. Every market, I don't care what market you're in. When I was, I think it was 2008 and 2009, I was brought in to coach clients in the Las Vegas and Orlando area when your markets were crashing. And that's why we brought in short sales and everything. Let me tell you something. There's not a market in the world that you cannot be successful in. You just have to decide, are you ready to kick the pants off of everybody who's looking to the right and you're going to go left? You got to go all in. You don't, like, when people look at challenging markets, they look at it and go, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. I get it. But it is also the one differentiator that when that market cleans up, which it always does, when it rebounds, you will be way up here while everybody else was here. That is exactly the opportunity. So I never get worried. I'm like, hard work? Yes. Tricks to it? Use some of the AI, use some of the stuff we're talking about. Just call. If 6% are in here right now, do that script. It's Marianne, just checking in. I just want to make sure. How's everything going? And do you need any help with real estate this year or any questions? That's it. You will get tons. So build your database. The average you should have in your database is a minimum of 1,000. Try to hit 3,000. 3,000 is the magic number. Hit 1,000,000. Always be meeting new people. If you're building relationships, you need to do that. Social media, follow all of your clients on social media. Get them in. Don't hold back. Okay, do not get into this. My social media is just for me to look good. Your social media is the biggest money maker in the world, and it's free. So jump in and go all in. Every client, we do an open house, bring them in and be like, file them into your social media. More Q&As. Become the knowledge expert, but make it hyper local. 4 call plans a year. I'm telling you, do the calls. I'm telling you, money, 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 money. 50 or more touches. Your CRM should be giving 50 or more pieces of great content, hyper local, great content. Do not go under that. The average consumer has over 10,000 ads a day. You are going to see that you need to be in the top of their mind. Do not mess around with this. Okay. Content, watch it, watch it, watch it. Really good. Okay. Beyond real estate services, equity checks, you know what? Interviews with mortgage reps. How can you offer services? Let them know all the free stuff that you do. They think they have to pay for it. AI integration we talked about. Focus on the client, not you. And then Disney. I want you to think of that original statement. 3.8 million bucks is what your average client at 33 is worth. Do you make them feel like Disney? I'm Disney leadership trained. I go to Disney every year to get leadership trained. And let me tell you something, it's the biggest eye opener. If you make people feel good, they will bend over backwards for you. Always. Every day of the week, they will do anything you want because they respect you, they admire you, and you make them feel good. So we have a team that I coach, and I'll leave you with this. The team that I coach has a VA dedicated. That VA has tagged everybody on social media, because you can tag them, they don't know it, and has tagged everybody that matters or is important or is a past client with this person. And their only job is to look every day for key things. And then they have an Amazon account. And they take that Amazon account and they basically say, hey, guess what? Marianne just went to Mexico. She's one of your clients. Looks like they're having the time of their life. Says they haven't taken a trip in a while. Would you like me to send them a bottle of aloe vera from Amazon? Yep, go for it. $4, sends them aloe vera. Hey, looks like your trip was amazing with the family. Thought you might need this after some of that great sunshine. Hope everything's great. Reach out if you need anything this year. That's all the VA does. They have a budget. That's all the VA does. Every time I do an Ironman, I know within 48 hours of landing back home, I get flowers. Why? Because they're on it. And it makes me feel like beautiful. And that's the difference, is that sometimes what you're doing, guys, is that you're not making people feel. If you need something, by the way, scriptsandtools.com, we've got all the scripts and shit there. So I always do that. It's a little freebie I did for your group. But here's the thing. If you make people feel great, remember, $3.8 million I can give you. $3.8 million is what each person is worth. If you don't know my birthday, you don't know, I don't care if you do, actually, to be honest with you. If you don't know my birthday, it's okay. I'm all right with it. And I may have lost some of the people here. I don't know. Amy, can you still hear me okay?
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
okay.
We can hear you.
For some reason, my screen's completely frozen. But I will tell you, if you don't make me feel amazing, you're not squeezing the juice out of my orange. You need to really look at your consumers. Don't get consumed with the market. Don't get consumed over what the interest rates are. Don't get consumed with that. Get consumed with building relationships and saying, I got enough business right here. If you have hundreds of people, you have the deals right here. You just have to reach out. They think you don't want their business, so they're not reaching back out to you. They're not going to do that. When I was 300 pounds, I didn't feel comfortable reaching out to 2 personal trainers. I felt they should reach out to me. And you know what? I was right. It wasn't comfortable. So I'm going to stress that you do the same. People are not always okay. So if you don't call them and reach out to them and you hide behind emails or texts or a robot, it's not the same. A relationship is mono to mono. Show me that you care. Show your clients that you care. The best in the business right now is merging old school, new school, boom. It is epic what we're about to see. So crush the pants out of 2025, believe everything is possible, and take your business to the next level, because this is a window. And when the market's perfect and great again and the interest rates go down, it's too late. Everybody's going to jump in. This is when you become the best version of yourself. So go for it and don't hold back. Amy, thank you. Joe, thank you. I'm so honored to speak to the Real Group today and other brokerages as well and all over the place. I'm very honored. And you know what? If there's anything I can ever do, reach out to me, okay?
Yeah, we appreciate it. Thank you so much. Guys, you know, United is open to all brands and brokerages, but it's not a secret. Joe and I are with Real, and we are a massively tech-focused, tech-driven company. And many of your brokerages might be, but if they're not, and you're concerned about, like Marianne's talking about, getting left behind, then you send a DM to the person that invited you to join today so that you can get some more information. That was a lot of details, but you can catch the recording on our YouTube page, on our Facebook group, because I'm sure you're going to want to watch it again. I agree, Lori. So much great content for sure. Jessica, same thing. Pam, yes, so much great content. We appreciate you guys being here. We did go a few minutes over. Sorry we didn't have time for Q&A, but we're just so glad that you guys joined us today. Don't forget, next week we have a break. It is President's Day in the US. It is Family Day in Canada. So we will not have a RocketFuel.
And President's Day in Canada soon. I mean, technically,
oh my
we could
gosh,
get technical as much as we want.
Here we go. You're never going to let this one down. Jennifer, don't laugh at him. He doesn't need any help. All right, guys, have a great rest of your day. The recording will be up
Thanks,
in about
guys.
2 hours. Talk soon.
Have a great week.